the situation we have with injuries and whatnot, and of course with all the games that we have played before and after this game, it will give the opportunity for players to play. And I think that's, by the time I reach January, I think a lot of the players in the squad that will have had the opportunity to play games and play games through all the levels, and then can be assessed from there. But whatever team we pit out, we're putting a team out always to win. At Celtic, there's no gifts, there's no free games. Every game is to win, and even though disappointingly we won't have anything in Europe after Christmas, we're still playing for pride here and the support. So we'll have a team tomorrow looking to fight for the result.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Celtic Forever podcast, joined by John today to go over Celtic versus Feyenoord in the Champions League on Wednesday night. Meaningless game, really. Meaningless for both teams. Meaningless for Feyenoord as well, who can't qualify for the Champions League, but they're qualified for the Europa League. So both teams are more or less playing a dead rubber. But we'll go through it anyway, and we'll have a wee touch on any news and stories that's been happening over the last 24 hours. And we'll touch on the Kilmarnock game as well for a wee second. All right, John, how are you?
I'm all right. Just think I've recovered now after that disaster on Sunday, Xander.
There's just a bad feeling going about Celtic now, isn't there? If you look at Brendan's. I'm not any body language expert, but his face he looks down. He doesn't look happy at all, does he?
No, I never looked happy, but he's just been beat with Kilmarnock, you know. He's just seen his team getting beat with utter dross. I mean, I wouldn't be happy with that if I was the manager. I'm not happy with it as a fan, never mind manager.
Yeah, I know, but he's... I suppose the Mora gives us a chance to bounce back and get a decent result tomorrow, although the game is meaningless for both teams. I would maybe give the players a bit of confidence going into the Hearts game at the weekend. So I suppose you can look at it that way. It would look better in the group as well if Celtic had 4 points rather than one. So I suppose you've got to look at it that way as well tomorrow, John. Makes the group table look a wee bit better if we get a win.
There's more money. You get money for wins as well, don't you? So I suppose there's that side of it. But
yeah,
personally, I don't really care what happens, to be honest with you, Xander. I mean, obviously I want to see Celtic winning every game, but it's totally meaningless, isn't it? Totally meaningless. I've said it for the start, even before we started the Champions League. The only thing that matters to me is the league, and it will always be the only thing that matters to me. I don't care about the Champions League.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it does make the group table look better if we come out of there with 4 points rather than one. Just make it look a wee bit more respectable, I suppose. But even to get a win in the Champions League and a dead rubber isn't going to be easy. And obviously, I think Brendan's going to make some changes on Wednesday night as well. So we'll all touch on that. The crowd, John, I just wanted to have a wee touch on the crowds. As we speak, it's not a sellout tomorrow. So, that could change. Obviously, come Wednesday, it could be a full house come Wednesday night. Obviously, but as we speak, it's not a sellout. No surprises there, really, is there?
No, I'm absolutely no surprised with that, Xander. That was I think I says that to you. I don't know if I says that to you, but it was definitely in my mind. That's not going to be a sellout, that game. So, but like you says, there's still time for it to sell out. There could be a lot of people maybe not seen a Champions League game before. Might fancy getting a wee ticket for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope Celtic win, of course. I mean, I don't care what happens in the Champions League. I never have really done, because we're never going to win it. It's only good for the money. I care about us getting into the Champions League, Xander, because of the money. But I know we're never going to win it. So really, when we lose the Champions League, it doesn't really annoy me that much. It does annoy me, but not as much as what it does in the league. If we lose in the league, that hurts a lot more, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I know what you're saying. There's the people that bought their 3-game package, for the Champions League. So obviously all those tickets are sold. I think it's just the public sale that's not a sellout. So obviously the people that have bought the 3 game package, you know, most of them will turn up at the game tomorrow. I mean, there'll obviously be someone that won't go to the game because it is such a meaningless game. But let's get into the game anyway, John. Let's have a wee look at the game. As regards to team news, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Daisen Maeda, and Rio Hatate all trained today, John. I think you just said that to me before we came on earlier. But I don't think any of them are going to be playing for what I'm reading. I think they're not going to risk Carter-Vickers. They're not going to risk Maeda, and obviously Rio Hatate isn't anywhere near match fit.
No, I wasn't expecting any of them to play. I know they're back in training, but I wasn't really expecting them to play because the fact that they've been injured. They're not just going to first day back in training and then play the next day. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to be worked up to that. You might see Carter-Vickers coming on Sunday, maybe in a sub appearance or something like that. But just to see how he is, because obviously he felt a tweak, and that's all he did. He felt a tweak, and he's fine now apparently. So I don't know. You might see him appear tomorrow. You don't know.
Aye. Yeah, I might make a wee substitutes appearance, but I think Brendan's going to make some changes for the game anyway. So that's the rumours that he's going to make some changes, and I think we need some changes in that team. So what we'll do is we'll touch on the team news just now, John, and we'll get that out the road because I'd like to get your thoughts on who's going to start the game tomorrow night, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So what we'll do just now is quickly run through what you think the starting lineup's going to be, John. What do you think?
All right. He's obviously not going to rest the full team, but I think
No.
he's going to start with the same defence. Apart from, I'm just praying it doesn't. Well, and then again, it's more like a friendly, and it really it's a meaningless game. So he might start with Nat Phillips. I don't know, but it's going to be Joe Hart. I'm going to say Joe Hart, Lager Bielka, and Liam Scales with Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnston. That's my back four. What about yours?
Well, I think he should be starting with Bain, to be honest. But he'll not start with Bain. He'll start with your man Hart in goal. So Joe Hart in goal. I think Alistair Johnston will play. Scales, Naroki, and Taylor.
Right. Naroki. I don't know. I don't know. I've not seen him for a long time, have we?
Yeah, as you say, John, he's going to try some stuff tomorrow, I think, to see how they perform in the Champions League. You know, players that have been out for a wee while, players like Naroki, players like maybe a Lager Bielke, Thiago Holm, players like that. I think he's maybe going to fling some of them in there. But that's my predicted defensive lineup, John. That's what I think he'll start the game with.
To be honest with you, Xander, I would like to see Naroki getting a start. I would love to see that because I did like him when he was playing. I did like the look at him.
He looked okay. His couple of games, his couple of appearances, didn't he? He looked quite solid in defence. He looked as though he could find a pass. Very physical as well, and that's something we're lacking in the team just now is a bit of physicality. So I would like to see Naroki starting tomorrow. You know, it's a dead rubber game, totally meaningless for both teams. Throw him in, see what we've got in a Champions League level.
Aye. Well, you've went for Naroki and I've went for Lager Bielka. I'd rather see Naroki, to be honest with you. This Champions League game, it might mean something to Brendan that, getting a win in the Champions League. It might be a big thing for him. I don't know. So we'll need to wait and see what he starts with. But I don't know if this is going to be the case by, starting players that don't really get a game that often. It might mean a lot to Brendan. We don't know. But centre of the park, I think he's going to use the tried and tested. Certainly get tested on Sunday.
Aye. Aye, and failed miserably. Anyway, on you go, John.
Aye, McGregor, Mattarelli, and I think he's going to try Bernardo.
Just stick to the same old, Bernardo in the Champions League.
Bernardo in the Champions League. For some reason, that's the only place he's really getting a start.
Yeah, well, I was looking at it, John. I was thinking players like Thiago Holm, Turnbull, is he going to give, maybe one of these players a chance? And before Awata, I don't know, I'm not sure. But I think he's going to stick to Awata in the holding role. Callum McGregor pushed up one, and Matt O'Reilly. So same as the Kilmarnock game there, John, for me.
All right. That I think he's going to start with Bernardo's under.
Why is Bernardo no starting any of these league games? He looks like a half decent enough player. Give him a chance in the SPL, for goodness sake. See what he can do. I mean, I don't even know if he started an SPL game yet. I don't know the stats on Bernardo, to be honest with you, but I don't think he started an SPL game. I think every appearance he's made in the league has been for the bench. So, game. I know we're going off track a wee bit, but game will be starting in the league. That's what I would say about Bernardo, John. He's a decent enough midfielder, I think.
Aye. He's also got a wee bit of height about him as well. It's about 6 feet, So we do need players with a bit more physicality and height, But aye, it's bewildering, isn't it? Why he's not starting in the league, but he's starting in the Champions League. It's really, really strange. The only thing I can think is what we discussed before. Maybe it's part of his contract with the loan deal. He's got to play so much in the Champions League.
Yeah, it could be, John. It could be something to do with that. It's the only thing I can think of, because he's, as I said before, he's a half decent player. But maybe Brendan sees something in the training that he's not liking. I'm not sure, but why then start him in the Champions League games? So it doesn't add up for me. All right, forward three, John. Who's your forward three?
Oh, it can't be O. I'll say that up front. It cannot be O. It's got to be Kyogo. Kyogo,
Yeah.
he got a substitute appearance at the weekend there. And he has scored a couple of goals in the Champions League, hasn't he?
He has, aye.
So
he's found the net, but let's touch on Kyogo, John. What do you think's gone wrong there with Kyogo? How many goals has he scored this season? 6. It's not the return. Maybe it's more than 6. I'm not 100% sure in the league, but his return isn't what the Celtic supporters were expecting this season, especially after his last 2 seasons. I think it was like over 60 goals in 2 seasons. The wee man's just not found his form this season. So what do you think? What do you think's going on there? I think it's just a form thing, just to maybe off form. Do you think it's the new management? What do you think's going on?
just a different style of play, isn't it? For what Postecoglou was putting on the team, I think it's maybe something to do with that. It's maybe not his game, the way Brendan plays. I really don't know, but he is getting into positions and missing chances as well. So it seems to be something that's going right through the team. That.
You look at the finishes we had for Kyogo the last 2 seasons, John. Impossible angles, shots from outside the box, even headers, tap-ins. Just making beautiful runs. But I don't think we've seen anything like that this season. I could be wrong, but I'm just going by what I see. I just don't see it this season. So the sooner the wee man finds his form, the better for everybody at Celtic, as far as I'm concerned.
I think once Dyson's back and Hatate, I think he kind of plays better when they're in the team. But no forget the beautiful double he scored against Hibs in the final, the League Cup.
I know. That's the Kyogo we miss. We miss that Kyogo because we're more or less guaranteed a win by a player like that in the team, John. A player that could finish the way Kyogo does. So anyway, the sooner the wee man finds his form in the Celtic team, the better for us all. So hopefully that starts tomorrow night against Feyenoord, John.
Aye, absolutely, aye. We'll wait and see what happens there. But he scored in the Champions League already, so we'll see what happens. We can only wait and see what happens there. It could be down to playing a different system for what he's used to playing under Postecoglou. Or it could be that he's missing his pals, Hitati and Maeda. Because that's when you get the best out of Kyogo. And don't get me wrong, Hitati and Maeda are two fantastic players. You know, how we're missing them badly, them two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We,
All right, John, so you're going with Kyogo anyway. Who's your wingers?
Mikey Johnson and Palmer.
So no changes there? No Yang, no Forrest?
I hope not.
At least you're honest. I'll go with the same. Yeah, Yang's not getting a game tomorrow. So it'll be, and I don't think Forrest. I mean, we could be totally wrong. We could be totally wrong, and he starts both of them. But no, it's Palmer and Alistair, Mikey Johnson for me tomorrow. That's my prediction as well. And Kyogo up front.
Aye. I'll quickly recap my team then. It's Joe Hart, Liga Bielka, Liam Scales, Greg Taylor, Alistair Johnson, Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly, Bernardo, Kyogo, Mikey Johnson, and Lewis Palmer.
Okay, Doug John, I'll quickly recap my team. Hart in goals, Alistair Johnson, Taylor, Naroki, Scales, Awata, McGregor, Matt O'Reilly, Palmer, Kyogo, and Mikey Johnson. Yeah, couple of wee differences there, but more or less the same team, isn't it? More or less, apart from one or two.
Aye.
All right, mate. Okay. All right. Before we touch on Feyenoord and the Celtic's form going into this and the betting going into this, John, I've been hearing, people on podcasts saying, "Oh, the coefficient. They've got to get the coefficient better. Who cares about the coefficient? As long as you come out of that game tomorrow with no injuries and a half decent result, that's all every Celtic fan's looking for, really."
Aye. So you're not interested in your coefficients then?
No, there's more important things to worry about than coefficient. Honestly, John, we've got to get this team performing again, and especially in the build up to this Hearts game at the weekend, which is a vital game for Celtic now against Hearts on Saturday. Vital game, John, vital. So as long as we come out of there with no injuries, everybody's fit and ready to play Hearts, that's all I'm concerned about. There will be people out there that do care about coefficient, fair enough, but I'm not one of them. No, they know anyway. Celtic's more important to me. The way the team's performing, we've got to get that right. We've got to get it right on the park. We've also got to get it right off the park, as regards to, the fan split with the Green Brigade, things like that. We've got to get everything running smoothly at Celtic. That's the most important thing for me, John.
Right now it is, aye, absolutely it is, because the teams, there's no consistency whatsoever right now, and very hot and cold. It's no good. You don't know what Celtic's going to turn up. You don't know what to expect. So, like you says, we need the team firing on four cylinders. We need all guns blazing. That's the most important thing, like you says, right now, is getting the team back to where we were. Because I just don't know what to expect now watching Celtic. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And Feyenoord, John, they're going into the game tomorrow with no injury concerns and a win at the weekend. So obviously they're going into the game. No, I wouldn't say on form, because we'll touch on their form. It's hot and cold like ours. So will they rest players? Do you think they'll start with a full strength team, John, or do you think they're going to rest some players? What's your thought? I know you don't know, but what's your thoughts?
I think it might mean more to them. It's an away game for them, so they might want to put on a performance, a a big stadium away from home in Europe. So I think it might mean slightly more to them being an away game. But I think as far as the Celtic fans are concerned, I don't think we'd all love to see a win for Celtic. But even if we do win the Mora, I'll neither be up or down with that, Xander. Win, lose or draw the Mora, I'll not be up nor down. I don't really care. But I'd like to, obviously a win's the score I would like to see. But I'm not doing somersaults or anything, It's meaningless.
No. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'd love to see us getting a win there, because it might boost the confidence a wee bit, John, if we get a win there tomorrow. When was the last time we had a win in the Champions League? 10 years ago. So it would end that terrible run of results as well. So yeah, a win would be fantastic. It is a meaningless game, but it would certainly boost the team, I think, if we come to Celtic Park on Wednesday with a win. Before we go into, sorry, John.
You think so?
Aye. If we get a win and end a 10-year drought without a win, that's going to boost the team, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, of course it is.
You think it meant a lot to them to get? It means a lot to them to get a result in a meaningless game. I don't think so.
I do. I think the team would kick on with a win against Feyenoord, definitely. Definitely, the team they'll be on a high again, John. They're going to the Hearts game on a high. They've ended a 10-year winless drought in the Champions League. Of course, they're going to be in a high after that.
I don't think so. But then again, me and you think differently. Everybody's got different opinions under it, It's me personally, I'm all for the league, and I don't like the Champions League. And I'll say it to him blue in the face or green in the face. We'll see.
Where do you think the morale would be if Celtic come out of the mortar with a 3-0 loss?
It's going to be bad, of course it is. But I don't think it's going to be massively boosted if they win, because it's a meaningless game.
Yeah, you can say that about every Champions League game, because, as you say, we're never going to win it.
You could say that about every Champions League game. You're right. But
yeah, but
I don't like.
okay.
I'm not a fan of the Champions League. I dread every single game. I just dread it. But the more I just don't care, because it doesn't mean nothing. All I'm hoping for is Celtic turn up the Mora and get a wee win. It would be lovely to see Celtic winning a game in the Champions League for the first time in 10 years. Obviously, I'm hoping Celtic win the Mora. That's what I think for every Celtic game. I just want to see them win every game, beating the Champions League, League Cup, Scottish Cup, and the league. You want to see Celtic win every single game they play in. All I'm saying is, I just don't think it's important. It's not important to me. It might be important to the players. I don't know.
No. Okay, we'll leave it there, John. Difference of opinion there, not a problem. We agree sometimes, we disagree. And before we move on, John, I want to touch on this week's promotion. Very simple indeed. What minute will the first goal be scored against Hearts on Saturday? Whether it's Celtic, whether it's Hearts, doesn't matter. We're just looking for the first goal. And if you could add your minute and your seconds, that would help you, give you a better chance of winning the Billet McNeil Legends print, John. So, what minute will the first goal be scored against Hearts on Saturday? We're looking for the minute and the seconds. Well, we will allow you up to 5 guesses each, and if you can leave your guesses in the comments section. And if there's anything else you want to leave in the comments section, just leave it in there, and we'll always answer your comments, John.
Aye. Why don't you change the competition to what minute will the Rangers get their first penalty?
It'll be too easy then.
Aye, 89 when they're not struggling.
I'll tell you when Rangers will get their first penalty in every game. Whenever it's nothing each still, after half an hour. Anytime after half an hour, if it's nothing each, they'll get a penalty. Or if they're losing 1-0, they'll get a penalty. So that's too easy, John. If we can't do that, it's too easy. I think they've had a penalty in the last 4 games, Rangers. Anyway, we're going off the track. John.
Well, listen, you're allowed to kind of digress a wee bit. I want to think that Scott Brown was talking about them. I seen a wee bit, but I can't remember exactly what Scott Brown was saying when they were talking about how many penalties Tavernier scored or how many penalties they've had. And they say his answer was, how many penalties have they actually had against him? And it turned out it was the last time when he played for Celtic.
There you go, eh? Yeah. I'll tell you something else as well, John, touching on that. I know we're going off the track. We're talking about the game tomorrow. But while we're on this subject, Rangers will get a penalty against them eventually. And do you want to know when it will happen? When
End
they're
of
2
the
or 3
season.
nothing. End of the season, or when they're 2 or 3 nothing up in a game, they'll concede a penalty. They will not concede a penalty and say the cup final at the weekend against Aberdeen. There's no way in this world that they're going to concede a penalty then. It will only be whenever they've already won the game, they're 3 nothing up, or as you say, a dead rubber at the end of the season.
Aye. I still find that astonishing, by the way, Xander, the amount of penalties that Tavernier's had since he joined them. What was it, 76 penalties or something like that? He's had more since that.
I'll be over 80 now because there's been 4 penalties given ever since. Since we last had that conversation, John, there's been an extra 4 penalties given to Rangers. Sorry, Tavernier. And I think he scored every one of them. So the figures are growing every week.
So it's up to 80 penalties.
Yeah, over 80. I think he's had, and he scored nearly 60 of them. Maybe 57 of them, something 58, something like that. Don't know the exact figures. Okay, John, let's get into that. Sorry, John, you go. On you go.
No, sorry, on you go, Xander. It's just going to say it's astonishing that the amount of penalties. It's unbelievable.
Yes, it's there's no attempt at trying to cover anything up, John, anymore. It's blatant now. It's anyway. All right, John, Feyenoord going into this game. Celtic and Feyenoord. Let's have a wee touch on the betting and the forum. Always like to do this and gamble responsibly. If you're going to have a wee bet on anything, John or myself say. All right, John, let's get into this. First of all, Feyenoord, John, off the back of a 3-1 win over Volendam. So their confidence will be up going into this game. They're just off the back of a win. They're also 10 points behind in the league, so they've got a wee bit of catching up today in the league. I think they're 10 points behind PSV Eindhoven. And when we get to the correct score as well, John, Celtic's best scorer or most on forum scorer is obviously Matt O'Reilly, who scored 3 and 1 goal in his last 3 games. So that's 3 in his last 3 games. He's scored a goal in each game. So looking at the betting on the first goal, John, we've got Matt O'Reilly at 12-1. That's a good bet considering he scored in his last 3 games. We've got O at 10-1, Palmer at 12-1, Kyogo at 7-1. That's a good bet, John. 12-1. Matt O'Reilly to score the first goal considering he's sort of our own goal scoring for him.
Aye, it's 12-1. Kyogo's 7-1. I just hope the last time Celtic had a bad result, they had a great performance after it. And that seems to be happening, didn't they? They have a bad result, then they have a good performance. So there's a chance Celtic could maybe grab a couple of goals or more. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Matt O'Reilly that got it. So 12-1, that's a good price.
Yeah, 12-1, O'Reilly. Palmer 12-1 in it as well, but he sort of came off the boil a wee bit, Palmer, didn't he?
Aye, well, he certainly was on Sunday. A good first half as usual, but I think the whole team was really poor on Sunday. So I'm like I said to you the other day, Xander, I'm not going to blame anything on one player what happened on Sunday. If I was to blame it on anybody, it would be the players that missed the sitters in the first half.
Yeah, and O is 10-1 to score the first goal on Wednesday night, John.
He's got better odds than O'Reilly.
He's got better odds than O'Reilly, aye. 10-1 for O to score. Let's have a wee touch on a couple of their players, John. Jimenez 92 to score the first goal, and Steins 10-1. So obviously Jimenez, or however you pronounce his name, he's the favourite to score the first goal, John. I think he scored 20 goals. I think he scored 20 goals this season for Feyenoord already.
It's I don't know. I don't know anything about the Dutch game, Sander, but it's hard to gauge Feyenoord because we played them with 9 men. So
That's true, yeah.
it's kind of hard to gauge how good a team they are, really, you know. But I'll never forget that game. It was unbelievable. But no, I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know anything about Dutch football in general. But aye, that's he's got the best odds, and he's away from home. I find that kind of strange as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll go into the score prediction in a wee second, John. But an outright win, John, your talk. Celtic 47-20, which is round about 2-1. The draws round about 3-1, and a Feyenoord win is round about evens, 65. So the bookies are obviously predicting Feyenoord to win there. I suppose it depends, doesn't it, on what lineup both managers decide to go with, whether it's a weakened team or a full strength team. So we'll keep an eye on that on Wednesday night, John. We've got the correct score odds: 2-1 Celtic, 11-1. 1-0 Celtic is 12-1. 2-0 to Celtic is 18-1. And 3-1 to Celtic is 22-1. Looking at Feyenoord, John, we've got 17-2 for a 2-1 Feyenoord win. We've got 12-1 for a 2-0 Feyenoord win. So, obviously, you're not going to put a bet on that, but that's just a wee rough idea of the betting on the correct score. What are you thinking there, John? 3-1, 22-1?
Aye, that's. I find them figures quite high for Celtic playing at home. I know we haven't won the Champions League for a long time, but I think the numbers are really high, aren't they?
Yeah, they're giving us a wee chance, I suppose. What is it? 47-20. It's strange odds. Was 47-20 roughly? 2-1 roughly, just over 2-1, maybe 2.5-1.
Aye.
Yeah, so they're giving us a chance, John. They're giving us a wee chance there, which is it's better than the odds we've had in the last few Champions League games. Let's put it that way, where we were sitting at 10-1, 8-1 to get a win.
Aye, it definitely is, but they maybe taking the type of game it is into consideration. You know, it's not going to be. Well, look, we don't know what kind of game it's going to be. I was going to say it won't be competitive, but you don't know what's going to happen. You know, it might turn out to be the most competitive game you see, and you're on the edge of your seat. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll wait and see Wednesday night, John. Form going into the game: Celtic lost 1-1, lost, drawn 1. Feyenoord is 1, lost, 1, lost. So both teams are going into the game in different form, shall we say?
Aye, there's no consistency with any of them, is there?
No. There's the form's up and down for both teams. Also, Celtic coming off the back of that defeat at the weekend, but before that, they won both games. Feyenoord won at the weekend. They're the opposite. They won at the weekend, and before that, they lost the previous 2 games. So, in different form, shall we say. Feyenoord are sitting in the group with 6 points, John. So if they win tomorrow night, they obviously end the group on 9 points, which is half decent for them. If we win the game, we finish on 4 points, obviously 2 points behind Feyenoord, but totally meaningless, means nothing. Just looks a bit more respectable on the board.
That's it. And it's 4 points. I'd rather finish on 4 points than 1 point, like you were saying earlier. But it is meaningless, and whatever the result is, I just hope it's a good one for Celtic. It might put us on it might be a wee cure for the weekends and something like
that. Yeah, I think so. I think it certainly won't do us any harm. Let's put it that way. If we get a win, that's one way of looking at it, John. Do you think Feyenoord are going to attack tomorrow, or do you think they'll be a wee bit more, sitting back and defending against us? Or just, I don't know. I don't know. How do you think they're going to come at us tomorrow, John?
You can't really say, Xander. There's nothing in it for either team really. It just depends what the manager's instructions are. You know, if they really want to win that game, both managers really want to win it, we could be in for a good game. But if both managers go into it with that attitude, well, just do your best and see what happens. Then it could be just a bit of exactly what it is, a dead rubber, you know.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out on Wednesday night, John. It'll be interesting, I think, because obviously we want to end this 10-year thing with a win. That's the only thing we've got to play for tomorrow night, John. Really, if you're being totally honest, is to finally get a win in the Champions League. That's the bottom line. Score prediction time, John. What are you thinking?
Well, I agree with you that, by the way. We do need to end that 10-year run without a win in the Champions League before when we move on to predictions. I know it says I don't really care. Obviously, it also says I just want Celtic to win every game they play in. So, to end that 10-year run, I would like to see a wee win. So, fingers crossed and hope we get the wee win and hope it's a good game as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Before we move on to any other news, John, what have you got score prediction wise for us?
I was thinking goals for some reason. I was thinking there might be quite a few goals in it. I don't know why. I've just got this image of this friendly game, but it might be nothing like that. I think Brendan's going to want a win as well, of course, obviously. He's obviously want to have that in his CV. So, I'm going to say 3-2 to Celtic, Xander.
That is goals, isn't it? That's goals indeed. 3-2. That's a high scoring game. Yeah, 3-2. Take it. Obviously, that goes without saying. So high scoring game. 2-1. 2-1 to Celtic. I think we're going to come out there tomorrow and end this long wait for a win in the Champions League, John. I think we'll do it tomorrow night when it means nothing, obviously, but it doesn't matter. It's still a win. Yeah, 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 to Celtic tomorrow, John. I think we'll come out. Whether it's 2-1, whether it's 3-2, obviously it doesn't matter as long as we get some sort of result there, John. That'd be quite nice, I suppose.
Aye, any kind of result will do. Any kind of result will do. But as long as it's a Celtic one, I don't care.
That's it. All right, John, we'll park it there. Good luck to Celtic tomorrow, obviously. We're going to need it, possibly because Feyenoord are a decent team. So good luck to Celtic tomorrow, and hopefully we come out of there with a half-decent result. What about news, John? Any Celtic news for us?
No, the only stuff I had was I've spoke about it already. I can't remember what it was now. Obviously, Maeda and Hatate and Carter Vickers, how they are back in training, which is good. That's important to have them back.
Mm-hmm.
And the other bit of news I wanted to say, I've already said it as well, about Scott Brown talking about when was the last time they actually had a penalty against them.
Yeah.
But I've covered that now.
Yeah, we've covered it, but it's also it's a brilliant point, isn't it? It's we'll spend a wee bit more time on it another time, I think, John. But that's something that needs to be discussed. It shouldn't. Let's put it this way: it shouldn't be pushed away into a corner and no talked about. That should be brought out in the open and talked about. So well done to Scott Brown for that.
Aye.
No. Sorry, John.
I've just got to say, 23 months, Sander.
23 months. Yeah.
That's the last time they had a penalty against them.
Disgusting, isn't it? Disgusting. The only other bit of news I've got is obviously it's no news. It's just tomorrow's B team game against Feyenoord, John, is on Celtic TV at 2 o'clock. So if you're looking for something to watch tomorrow before the big game, Celtic's game against Feyenoord for the B team is on Celtic TV at 2 o'clock. What do you think, John? You're going to be watching that one?
Maybe, aye. See what happens. I'll probably forget it, but if I remember it's on, I'll definitely watch it. it's always good to watch Celtic in any capacity, be it the women's team, the B team, the main team. Celtic, innit? You're wearing the green and white hoops. You've got a love for it, and that's it.
That's it, John. That's it. I also didn't realise the Celtic B team beat Lazio last time in the Champions League. Last time out, it was a 2-0 win for Celtic against Lazio. And I think that was away in Italy, so that was a decent result for the B team there.
Aye, I don't rate Lazio anyway. I don't know what their B team's like right enough, but the 2 times we played Lazio in the Champions League this season, Celtic played them off the park. Celtic were the better team in 2 games. Unfortunately, Lazio, the difference between us and them is they had a striker that can finish.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only difference. But
Yeah.
I don't rate them. I don't rate them as a team.
So just to round it all up, John, the Champions League is over after Wednesday night. That's a sort of blessing in disguise, isn't it? That Champions League being over for this season. We've got bigger fish to fry, really, than the Champions League. So I'm sort of glad it's over, and I take it you'll be glad as well.
Oh, aye. I can't wait till it's finished. That's it, done. We don't need to worry about the League Cup either, of course, because we're out of that, unfortunately. We don't have a League Cup final to look forward to. But Champions League's over. Good riddance to it for another season. I just hope Brendan builds a team capable of challenging in that Champions League next season. Just going away from home and maybe getting a draw and a couple of wins at Celtic Park, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said, John. Well said. I couldn't agree more. Let's get the team built up for next season's Champions League. It's yeah, well said. Yeah, okay. All right. Before we move on to comments, just a wee touch on the promotion again. It's very simple, folks. Get your entries into the comments section for this because it's very simple. We'll allow you 5 guesses each, and all we're looking for is the minute the first goal will be scored in the Celtic and Hearts game at the weekend. What minute will the first goal be scored? Very simple. We're looking for the minute and the seconds. Leave your 5 guesses in the comments section, John, and you can win this spectacular Billy McNeil Legends frame print, John. It couldn't get any easier, could it?
No. It's so easy that other podcasts are copying your competitions, Ander.
I heard that, John. I heard rumours that I'm not going to name the podcast, obviously, but another podcast is also having a competition to name the mystery Celtic player, John. So yeah, it's a good wee competition, I suppose. There's no law against it, I suppose, either. But yeah, some people are having a few of our ideas.
Aye, well, there you go. You know, if you can't think up your own ideas, don't have a podcast.
No, you're free to use our ideas. You're free to do so, not a problem.
All right. Comments. See, you've caught me unawares there talking about competitions. I was getting all excited there.
Aye, well, it's a competition to get excited about, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good they're copying it. You know.
Billy McNeil Legends frames. You know, we've already
Aye.
given away six of these Legends frames. 6 prizes have been handed out. So, can you be the lucky 7th winner just by putting your guess in the comment section of what minute the first goal will be scored against Hearts?
You, Dave. Phillips reminds me of Shane Duffy as well. Total dud. We need our strongest team every week to win the league, and all our best players are injured.
Who said that?
You, Dave.
Aye, well, I don't think he's got a kick in the ball for Celtic anyway, is he?
Well, big
Let's
Shane
be
Duffy
honest.
Phillips.
Aye, big Shane Duffy Phillips. I think he's going to be heading back down the road in a couple of weeks. So, yeah.
It's a pity he's no heading home right now, but there you go. Mad about football. A great guess on the mystery player, Roseanne. Oh, well done, Roseanne, for winning the competition. You know your Celtic trivia.
Yeah, she done brilliant. Well done. Excellent guess.
Here's my favourite comment for the Prophet, who's obviously a regular resident. Prophet says, the likes don't match up. Let me read that again, Prophet. The likes don't match up the views. So give the two guys who's doing this for free, Celtic men. So if you're part of the Celtic family, hit the like button. It's free, so do it.
Yeah, well said. Well said. 100% Prophet. And thank you as well for highlighting that, because the likes, I don't think the likes have ever been above 30, have they? So let's get these likes above 30 today. Just hit the like button. Very simple.
Sorry about reading that out bad there, Prophet. There was no comma in there. I was trying to break it up, and my eyes are poor, so sorry about that, mate. But good comment, Prophet. Thanks very much, man.
Yep. Cheers,
And
Prophet.
he says he agrees with Father Stone. And if you're wondering who Father Stone is, that's me. That's what Prophet calls me. So
Yeah,
let's
what else
see.
you got for us?
We would never sell a club for £1. I'm surprised I can even see that. We were brutal in the second half, and the players' attitude was all wrong. We were beyond brutal. We would never sell a club. The players' attitude was all wrong, and they didn't push on to secure the points and paid the price for it. And was shocking in front of goal. No room for complacency now, leading up to the next Glasgow derby. Couldn't agree more with that. We would never sell a club for £1. Was shocking, aye. And the rest of the things you say, aye. Brutal, just the team were brutal. Second half.
Yep. It's got to be 3 wins out of 3 leading up to that game, John. Simple as that. 3 wins out of 3 and we move on.
He also says it just goes to show that Celtic are not the same team without Maeda, and they're a different team when he's in them, when he's playing. I agree with that as well with Maeda. Then again, the last couple of games Maeda played, he was terrible in the league.
Yeah, but he also puts in that extra work rate, John. He also puts in that two-man work rate. So whether he's playing bad or playing well, John, he's still got that work rate. He still runs up and down that line, helping out Greg Taylor, which, by the way, it's shown that Taylor's missing Maeda. He's not got Maeda there to back him up. You know, that extra running down that line and defending Maeda does. He's missing Maeda, Taylor, obviously. So whether he's playing bad or good, John, the team still misses Maeda, I think.
Aye, definitely, aye. He played bad the last couple of games he played in the league. He was pretty poor, but still effective in places, you know. But he was poor, and then he played in the Champions League. He was playing great and got sent off for nothing and injured for his troubles. But aye, we missed Maeda badly. I love Maeda. I think he's a fantastic player.
Definitely, and he'll be back soon. I think he'll be back soon, but he'll not be back tomorrow. That's for sure.
A wee well-wisher, Michelle Stewart, who comments regular as well. She just says, I hope you're feeling better, Xander. And the team was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, the team was short. The team was terrible at the weekend. But we went over all that, and obviously the Celtic fans are still, reeling for that, I suppose, because the lack of effort in that second half, John, for what I'm hearing anyway, it was unacceptable. It was unacceptable. So we'll see what kind of performance we put in tomorrow night and against Hearts on Saturday. And thanks for the well wishes. Appreciate that.
And Michelle also said we need Maeda and Abada and Hatate as well. So these are players every fan's missing, we're all missing them. And she also says something about he's gorgeous. He's with his wee square head. He's talking about me thinking that Kilmarnock player looked like Oddbud.
All right, Oddbud. He's gorgeous. Yep, stunning.
I think she was a wee bit of tongue in cheek there, Fate. Michelle, thanks for calling, Michelle. And she says that Alistair Johnson was great. He was. Alistair Johnson was the man of the match for me for Celtic on Sunday. He was the only player that looked like it mattered to him.
You'll always get 100% out of Alistair Johnson. That's a given every game.
Aye. Alistair Johnson, it's winning matters. To see when winning matters, it means everything to a player. If every player was like that, we wouldn't have problems, Xander.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Paul McEwen just says, hail, hail as always. And then we had Proud
Hail,
Boys
Paul.
with his guesses. Hail, hail, Paul, by the way. Proud Boys just left his times for his goals. There was quite a lot of times for goals. I didn't see Roseanne commenting that won the frame print. She did leave a comment, I just can't see it. And that's my start to go, so that's it for comments, Sander.
Well, Roseanne's comment, John, was it's hidden under one of the Prophet's comments. She's replied to one of Prophet's comments, so it's in there somewhere. And all she's saying is she can't believe she's won it. She's going to give the Legends frame print to her wee grandson. She's over the moon. She's very happy at winning the prize. So thanks for that, Roseanne. She's shown a lot of gratitude there for winning that prize, and she's going to give it to her wee grandson.
All right. Well, that's nice. But I mean, I struggle to see these on that one. I need to be sitting at the computer to be able to read the comments, Xander. Honestly, I can't see. You can't zoom them in on a tablet either. So right now, because I'm doing this on the phone instead of the computer, I'm sorry, but that's all the comments I'm reading it because it's starting to give me pain behind my eyes.
Right, okay. All right, we'll wrap it up there, John, then. Thanks for reading the comments out. Thanks for everybody that's listened and viewed to the podcast today. We appreciate absolutely every single view, obviously. So thank you for that. Thank you for hitting like. And thank you to all of our subscribers as well. We really do appreciate it. It keeps our wee Celtic Forever channel going. All right, John, anything you want to add before we pack it in?
No, really, just good luck to Celtic as always. I just hope for a wee win tomorrow. I know I keep saying the Champions League doesn't mean it to me, but look, I always want to see Celtic winning. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Although the competition doesn't mean that much to me, I still want to see Celtic win every single game we play in. I'm just saying the competition itself is kind of irrelevant because we're never going to win it anyway. No in any me or Xander's lifetime, I don't think, but the league's always the priority for me. Every season in my life, the league has always been the priority, and it will remain that for as long as I live, Xander.
Yeah, fair enough, and I'm sure it's a priority for most Celtic supporters, if not all. All right, John, we'll wrap it up there, and well said as well at the end there. Good luck to Celtic on Wednesday nights. Any sort of win will do, end that 10-year drought for a victory in the Champions League, and we'll catch up with everybody on the post-match on Wednesday. Okay. Hail, hail, everybody, and thanks very much.